Come here now, girl.
Hello and welcome to WhatsMap, your one-stop shop for everything workshop. I'm BonBonB and you're very, very welcome. Right, today we have got the very last Saturday map before the Map of the Year series. Yeah, you thought I was going to say the C word, didn't you? Well, let's say the C word as well. Christmas. Yes, that's coming up the tail end of next week. Got some very interesting intermissions coming up for you between now and then. I think you're going to really appreciate those. And those of you that are elitists, and only you will know if you are an elitist. Yeah, a few of you there. We've got something very special on Christmas Eve for you as well. I think you're really going to approve of that one. We have got a map to review today, so let's start thinking about that. Let's start thinking about clicking something before we start that as well, shall we? That's right, clicking that like button really does support the channel, gets me seen by more people and helps me grow a little bit more every single day. Thank you for your support. Today's map is Valle de Bravo by Art plus Bytes. We're talking real life location here in Mexico. I think it's about a 2-hour drive down the road from Mexico City. You'll notice that the top down views look a little bit different from the in-game flyover. I'll talk about that when we get to the in-game flyover. There's your terrain heights. We do have some resources as well, which look like this. It's field painting, but again, that might work for a few of you because the fields are pretty big, so we can work with those. If you have Sunset Harbour and want to do some fishing, it's actually not a bad fishing map, so we have that as well. And then if we have a look over on the workshop for what we need, no DLC required today. We'll be using network extensions to network fences and network tiling. Also, it's a theme mixer. The base theme is the Vanilla Temperate theme, and we'll be mixing in the Colorado Rockies theme. We've got a few variations on fertility colours as well, and we'll be using the Realistic 1.2 LUT. Right, so down to ground level. There is one extra setting that I have changed for this. I was very concerned that the theme... Well, I thought the theme might be a bit wrong because a vanilla theme mixed in with a custom theme is a very odd combination, but we do seem to be matched up mostly with the thumbnails and the screenshots. But the coastlines looked like there was a bit sand down there and there was no sand. So what I've done is I've gone into the Find It mod and I've switched off the shoreline effect. And so now we've got a little bit of like the sandy type effect that you get along the coastlines, along the shorelines, once that is switched off. Now you notice we have got national roads here, and they are switchbacking, and we do have quite a few switchbacks on the map. In some places I feel that they're used quite well, and some places I don't feel like they've used at all. Like this little stretch of straight roads here, this is pretty steep. And I would like to have seen some switchbacks going on here, because while this is a real life location, I suspect the roads, there's a little bit of give and take in terms of real life location roads. I haven't actually gone down and compared with Google Earth for this one. While it's a real life location, I don't suspect it's one that people are going to want to necessarily recreate exactly. There might be a few Mexican viewers who are completely, I mean, we've got Checomex, one of the great map creators. Such a huge amount of work out of that creator. We've got junction here, a little right hand turn there with the traffic heading off. We're not going to, well, we will go that way. We want to go down this route first of all, because this is where your start square is going to be located down there. Really nice view over the lake, and yeah, it's dead ends just around the corner there. But yeah, start square is in this kind of location, so yeah, you've got pretty nice view. And then over here, the junction, you might want to upgrade this with a roundabout or something once you start building in your start square, because that is going to clog up pretty quickly. Now, roads, national roads. I have no problem with maps that use national roads. You're talking about having like a realistic vibe. Not everybody necessarily wants to take on the map to do a huge mega city, whatever. If you're after that, and you're after these 2-lane or 3-lane or 5-lane highways, really not the map for you. It does have a realistic vibe to it, and so a realistic vibe, kind of, you want to take on the realistic roads, and that's what we have here. So you're going to be doing a small slow build on this one, and just really enjoy it, because it's kind of a map where you can actually get into it and really enjoy the shape of the terrain. Intersection here. Now this one, it looks a little untidy, but actually I don't mind it too much. We do have a little bit of traffic misbehaving there, going up to the end and turning left across the road instead of turning right and doing the loop around. Now traffic always tries to find the shortest route, and as you can see here, it's quicker for the traffic. Oh, that tractor took that turning though. It's quicker for the traffic to turn left across the traffic, and yes, if you've got Traffic Manager Present Edition, you can adjust that intersection as such. But in terms of playing it vanilla-ish rules, then you got a little bit of traffic. Well, look at it tailing back here already. What with the stop-start. While it's not a great intersection, it's not the one that I have the biggest problem with. I think that's my next one coming up here, where we've actually got an entire connection missing. Let's head down to, here we go, this is the one. Yes, this is the one. So you got all the traffic heading out there, and well, you see, we've got, if you want to turn right at this junction from the route we took, the only way to do it is by coming up this road here and then cutting across, like that motorbike's just done, the traffic there. So yes, there is, we could use an extra connection here, or a roundabout, or a flyover, or something. But yes, there is no route, no way. Not to say these other two roads are coming in towards us. Yeah, we're missing a connection, or we want the traffic to turn left, or maybe there is no left turn there in real life. Maybe it's possible. Complete speculation. I wouldn't believe it for a minute, but it is possible. Anyway, yeah, so 4-lane highway. Yeah, we are using network extensions 2 roads, which will explain this one. Of course, any map that uses network extensions 2, always remember that you've got it enabled in your content manager. Intersection there, that looks alright, doesn't it? Does that look alright? Yeah, we've got exactly the same thing going on here with the traffic, where it's taking the left turn across the traffic there, which should be looping around. There is an answer to this. What I would do here is I would actually move this connection, this node, a little bit up the road so that it's a bit further, like up about here maybe, and makes it just a little bit further for the traffic that wants to just cut down that way. Just make it obvious to the route finding that it's the long way to drive, and then they'll take a shorter route. That's what suggestion of the day, I guess. Yeah, and then we have highways. Now we have no rail on today's map. It is a little bit undulatory, and guessing there's not rail every part of the world. We do like this little bit of road here. We've got switchbacks, but they're in valleys. It's very aesthetically pleasing, I've got to say. I really like the look of this. Right, which means with no rail, I think we're going to have to take an intermission. We'll come back after this short message to check out the shipping routes. Do you think we've got shipping routes on today's map? Are you a fan of the show? Well, I guess if you're watching this, you really must be. And as you've made it through 1,000 reviews, it's time to really treat yourself. To emblazon yourself with all 1,000 thumbnails in one great garment. From the makers of WhatMap, it's the official WhatMap 1000 t-shirt. Get yours now. And so back to Valle de Bravo by Art Plus Bytes. Or was it by Val Plus Bytes? I don't know. We got an air route, we've got no shipping route, we've got an air route which just kind of wiggles its way across the map. Prefer a straighter route because planes do tend to, unless you're flying a little two-seater, they do tend to take straighter routes than this. It just wibbles about like a wibbly route. Yeah, whether you'd notice it in-game, I doubt, but I thought I'd mention it. Water flow, we have a little bit of water flow going on here. Then you've got the big old lake. Everybody loves a big old lake. And we've got water flow in the big old lake as well. That's because there are spawn points here. There are. Thing is, though, down by the start square, which is in this area here somewhere. Have a look here. It's very stationary and static down here. So just be a bit careful if you're pumping sewage. You might give yourself a little bit of a problem. Right, map as a whole, I kind of like the aesthetic of this one. I think the vanilla and the Rockies theme do mix rather strikingly together. Yes, it's all vanilla trees, which means the forests are going to be a little bit, well, vanilla, which doesn't necessarily fill me with joy. We've got another switchback road here going along the elevator. We had one in the valley earlier, and now we've got one on an elevated section. It's all very different. All very different. And you'll see that we've got the shoreline, which is like a sandier look to it. That is down to the area effect being switched off. The trees on the cliff edges, I don't know whether I like them or dislike them on this map. I don't honestly know whether I like them or dislike them. Normally I'd say a big cliffy area like that, I'd like to see it thinned out a little bit. But it's really hard to say with the vanilla trees. It kind of sort of works, I guess. We got the fields down here, which are obviously resource painted, so you can just ignore the fact that they're fields and take them on as oil fields or as a quarry. Like we've got a field over here, which is all for the ore as well. And then the big old lake in the middle, which is just it's a really nice shape. I think it's a good size as well in terms of the game that we're playing and having a little bit of a watery backdrop. Right, okay, this is your start square area. It's pretty flat down here, and we do have a quirky asset of the day. And it's not what you think it's going to be. Not from the captions at the start of the show is what I was going to say. There you go. It's the Dolphin prop by Tetris. And it's a sci-fi electric vehicle type thing. This is prop. Not entirely sure. I didn't look deeply enough. There may be a vehicle version if you want these driving down your highways and your byways. But if you're looking just from a little prop, a little bit sci-fi, I quite like that. Factoids, because factoids. South American gauchos. Again, I don't know whether this is still current because this book is getting older, a bit like me. South American gauchos sometimes put raw steaks underneath their saddles before starting a day's riding in order to tenderize the meat. Yep, that would do it. It's not the only meat that gets tender when you're riding on a horse all day, if you know what I mean, ladies and gentlemen. You know what I mean? Dolphin prop. I don't know why it's a dolphin. It looks more like a porpoise or a killer whale. By Tetris. Good work from Tetris. Really lovely to see. Right, so this is the map. You've seen everything, but what do you think of it? What do you think of it? Have you got an opinion? Now's your chance to show it. By clicking that I button in the top right hand corner of your screen, your chance to vote on the map. Is it a 1-star map? Is it a 5-star map? Is it somewhere in between? Your vote really does count. We use it at the end of the month for the Viewers' Choice Top 10. Will this be one of the top 10 maps of the month? Only you can decide. Click the I button now in the top right hand corner of your screen, as previously mentioned, and you can vote for free. What do I think of today's map? I'm okay with it, actually. I think aesthetically it does look a little bit washed out because it's vanilla-y and we're using a realistic 1.2 LUT. But I think it has got a vibe to it, and I like the vibe. Don't feel I can quite give it 4 stars, but I'm going towards the top end of 3 on this one. I like it. Detailing. There's not too much to talk about. I think the tree painting is okay. I don't think there's too much wrong with it. A couple of the intersections are missing bits or whatever. But I think the detailing is okay. I can only really go down the middle and give it a solid middle of the road 3 stars. Plenty of work can be done, but it's not bad. I'm going to say the same pretty much about the gameplay. If the intersections were a little bit better, I could push towards high 3. It just doesn't really feel like a 4-star playable map. 3 stars is the pass mark. I'm going to go with that. Valle de Bravo by Art plus Bytes. For those of you that are looking for a slightly undulating map, I personally, I think I would switch up the theme. I definitely want to upgrade a couple of those roads for playability. But I do like it. That is a map just to sort of like savour over. But it's a map I'd want to upgrade personally. Anyway, if you're still here, you're part of the 20 and out elite. Yes, elitists, you're still watching. Use the word of the day into the comments and score yourself some population points just for fun. And I'll be back tomorrow with the Steam Weekly Chart Show. Oh yes, Steam Weekly Chart Show.